He had been gone for almost 7 years, working abroad, sending money home, calling when he could. Mark thought he had done the right thing, built a better future for his family. His wife Sarah and their young son had stayed behind in their quiet suburban home. His childhood best friend, Alex, lived just a few blocks away and had always been like family. The night Mark finally returned, the house looked warm and welcoming. Sarah greeted him with a tired smile. Their son, now 8 years old, stood shyly behind her. But something felt off from the very first moment. Over the next few weeks, small things began to stand out. The way the boy called Alex uncle with comfortable ease. How Alex seemed to know the boy's favorite foods. His school schedule. Even the nightmares that woke him at night. Mark told himself he was being paranoid. He had been away a long time. Of course, his best friend had stepped up. Then one evening, while going through old photos, he noticed the dates didn't quite line up. A quiet doubt started to grow into something heavier. "I want to stop here, because you need to feel the slow, crushing weight Mark carried in those weeks." He had missed 7 years of his son's life thinking he was providing for his family. Now he was beginning to realize the child he loved might not even be his. The betrayal wasn't loud. It was quiet, insidious, and buried in everyday moments. On paper, it looked like the end of everything he had sacrificed for. Mark did not explode. He did not confront them immediately. Instead, he started watching more carefully. He asked gentle questions. He gathered small pieces of truth. One afternoon, he sat down with Alex, the man he had trusted since they were boys. The conversation was calm on the surface, but it shattered everything underneath. Alex admitted it. The boy was his. The affair had started shortly after Mark left. Sarah had been lonely. Alex had been there. Mark felt the floor drop out from under him. 7 years of working abroad. 7 years of believing he was building something real. In that moment, he lost the son he thought was his, the marriage he thought was solid, and the best friend he thought would always have his back. The next morning, after a sleepless night, Mark sat alone on the back porch. He did not fall apart in anger. He sat with the pain and asked himself one brutal question. Who am I now, without the story I told myself? He realized the years abroad had changed him too. He had become someone who valued stability over presence. Slowly, he began rebuilding, not to win anyone back, but to become the man he wanted to be. He sought legal advice quietly. He focused on being present for the boy, regardless of biology. At 41, Mark started a new chapter. He moved into a small apartment nearby and began showing up consistently. The boy slowly warmed to him again, not as dad in the old way, but as someone steady and kind. Mark learned that fatherhood wasn't only about blood. It was about showing up when it was hard. The divorce was quiet and fair. Sarah and Alex stayed together. Mark chose not to carry hatred. He told me later that the greatest reckoning wasn't the betrayal. It was discovering who he was when everything he believed was taken away. Today, Mark has rebuilt a life he is proud of. A career closer to home. New relationships built on honesty. He sees the boy regularly and has become the steady presence the child needs. He no longer measures his worth by what others took from him. The future is quieter now, but it finally feels like his own. Before you go, answer honestly in the comments. Have you ever discovered that someone you trusted completely was living a completely different truth behind your back? How did that betrayal change who you thought you were and who you became afterward? If this story stayed with you, hit subscribe. Every week on Quiet Reckoning, one real story, one truth, one reckoning. The next story is already waiting. I'll see you there.